Yo. Good evening, and welcome back to yet another late night live stream with your host, Tiha. Now, today, we have a special stream. It is the end of a long journey. Though, considering the games I played in the past, this one's been kind of short, to be honest. By comparison. Hope everyone's been doing well. We're gonna put this guy in the grave. He's already bleeding. Eggs do bleed. Alright, what do you have to say for yourself? Okay, so, in case you haven't caught up, basically what he's trying to do now is claim that he saw everything happen, because we kind of did prove, and he did admit, to being there, and to breaking in with his goons. When Winterbank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. The accused in a black coat shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety. I saw the blood spatter all over that wretched girl. Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape. Good gracious, this is quite extraordinary testimony. Bro, he looks like the fucking default Roblox face. Or is that the default one? I don't know. Whatever that meme face is. You claim, sir, under oath, to have clearly seen the defendant pulling the trigger. Why didn't you say that in the first place then, huh, buddy? Huh? Order, order, order. It wasn't my intention to testify in this way. But neither is it my intention to be found guilty of a murder I didn't commit. So you see, my hand has been forced. I tell the truth now as an act of self-preservation. The truth? Until now, the prosecution was completely unaware of these details. Yes, well, sorry about that. Wait, what? That's what they were talking about? He's going along with it too? Having shot me in the arm, the pawnbroker was then shot in the back by the accused. As I said, she was showered in his blood. Was she, though? You say the blood spattered over the accused's coat? Are you sure on that point? Oh yes, quite sure. All over the black overcoat that pickpocket girl was wearing at that time. Was she wearing black? Or was she wearing a green coat? I don't remember. We don't have any pictures of her in here. Dang it. How about in here? Can we see much? No. If our girl could somehow be shown to harbor vestiges of blood, that would be conclusive evidence here. Such an investigation is entirely possible, my lord. What? Well, then do it. Maybe we can, like, hit it with a little coloring gun, you know? Only very recently, a German scientist developed a technique to identify human blood. So here's to true science, not some amateurish detective's dubious foray into the world of chemistry. There's nothing dubious about Hurley's work. His ideas are all sound. Ideas are no use to us here. In science, as in law, theories must be proven before they stand. In Germany, the technique has already been employed in the courtroom as the basis of evidence. Scotland Yard has a small quantity of the chemical reagent used. With your lordship's permission. Oh, how convenient. He just loves breaking those glasses. We should shatter all vestiges of doubt within minutes.
This doesn't look good, Runo.
Why not?
Well, we know, don't we, that there's blood all over the front of Ginny's coat. If they tested with the chemicals...
Oh, help, you're right. I was forgetting what happened yesterday. Right, we did see, color. I completely forgot about that too. Well, shit. Well, it looks purple, though. Whose blood is purple? It's not Mr. Windibank's blood. That stain is from 2 months ago. Right, okay. So that's... Mason's blood? If I remember correctly? Can I look at my court record from here? Yes. Yeah, that's Mason. Okay, well... For some reason, they won't take the color as evidence, even though this is like a scientific breakthrough, clearly. It's Mr. Mason's blood from when he was stabbed by McGilded, who was wearing the same coat at the time. My lord, the defense objects to the test proposed by the prosecution. Overruled. Lord Van Zieks, make it so at once. With pleasure, my lord. And while we await the results, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Once they find that blood on the overcoat, Gina will be... No, but it will be purple, right? Counsel! Yes, my lord. No cross-examination. Of course, my lord. This cross-examination doesn't go well. If I don't manage to uncover some decisive evidence, or a really compelling clue now, I have a very bad feeling about the outcome of this trial. It's a duel, the moment of the shooting. I only have two dings left?
Hold it!
Mr. Windibank emerged from the storm, I believe. Ringo and Notch were scouring the counter when he suddenly appeared and flew at them. Alright, they look normal. He already had the revolver in his hand. Fortunately, I wasn't too close.
I never been so scared in all my life. Yeah, we're just your regular, mild-mannered burglars, that's all. He doesn't like violence.
Says the pair who carry a gun. What do you mean when you say you were near the entrance to the shop? I was in the doorway, running my eyes over the shelves of forfeited items. Looking for the music box, of course. The broker went for Nosh in the first place. Then Ringo joined in, making it 2 against 1. So I assumed they could handle the situation. But I was wrong.
I was just trying to help me bruv, but the old geezer chucked me over the blooming counter.
You know, I can see that happening considering how compact you are.
So I pulled me gun on the old fella, and that's who made him scarper.
Pair of you sitting upon the poor defenseless pawnbroker together? Shame on you.
Sorry, Gav.
Huh? Okay, so he just doesn't explain the pain in his arm in his regular testimony. You mean that's the moment you were shot? Yes, though I didn't immediately realize what had happened, of course. Being crushed to the floor from the counter as there were 3 men were brawling. It was exactly at that moment that it happened, so I didn't hear the gunshot. The bullet went on to strike the calendar on the wall behind you. So it would appear. I mean, you were grazed then, right? Because the bullet... Well, I don't see an exit wound. There's only 1 bleeding wound on your arm. When I looked at my arm, I saw it bleeding badly, so I wrapped my handkerchief around it. Seeing as I couldn't explain what had happened to a doctor, I had no choice but to wait for it to heal. I didn't imagine it would still be bleeding 2 days later. Bro does not have coagulation. Did Mr. Windibank intend to shoot you, do you think? Well now, you got like a bleeding disorder or something, my guy. Maybe you do need to see a doctor. I don't imagine he even noticed I was there, to be honest. Perhaps the gun went off accidentally. Anyway, it didn't quite strike home.
When I pulled my gun on him, he tried to shove me out of the way. And then he scampered for the door out back.
At which point, what did you do? See the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. It seemed the people on the door, though.
Hold it!
You mean you chased after him? I don't recall the reason why, but I ran after him to the back of the shop. And what about his peephole in the door you mentioned? Well, unsurprisingly, the storeroom door is a solid job, made of stout wood. There's a small opening at about head height that lets you see what's in there from the outside. Actually, I should know that, shouldn't I? I looked through it myself that night. And what about you burgling brothers? Did you see what went on through the people as well?
Not likely, Gov. Didn't see nothing of the sort, Gov.
I doubt these two buffoons were even aware of the people's existence. So the Skulkin brothers were there, but they didn't see the killing of Mr. Windibank take place. I don't know if Ringo could even use that, people. Inside the storeroom, I can see the broker and that young girl standing there. The defendant. Yes, though neither of them had noticed, I was looking. The girl raised her gun and pointed it straight at the man. And then, what did you see next? I don't know, that people looks pretty big. Kind of hard to believe that they didn't notice if anyone was looking.
Hold it!
Yes, when the crime was discovered, the defendant was found with a gun in her hand. That was Mr. Windibank's gun, from which only a single bullet had been fired. As we've already established, Mr. Graydon, that bullet was fired at you. Ah, but no, it wasn't the broker's gun that the pickpocket girl had when I saw her. Yes, the bullet from Windibank's gun grazed my arm, and yes, the Skulkin's gun grounded the detective. But this was another gun entirely. A third gun. The broker's gun was not the murder weapon, so clearly there had to be a third firearm involved. Possibly, I'm inclined to agree. In other words, the accused must have had her own gun with her at the time.
Objection!
But no other gun was found at the scene. Yeah, so he's saying that he took it. Can't we just see it then? Calm yourself, counsel. Sorry. You must consider the events in order. At first, I saw the broker and the girl glaring at each other, but then all of a sudden, the broker turned to run. Run where? It's one room. He's not going to run back outside where you guys are. What? And it was at that moment, the little gutter rat shot him in the back. Chilling image, I must say. You know, if you want to be a little more believable, maybe cut it off with those poses.
Hold it!
All over her? Yes, through the peephole I saw clearly. Yeah, but when we found her, there wasn't any blood on her coat. It was basically it looked like it was clean until we hit it with the spray. Stains are invisible now, the coat being such a dark color. Oh, I see. That's how they explain it. Coat is black. I assure you that garment is sullied with the victim's blood. Well, it is sullied with blood, that's for sure.
But it's not Mr. Winterbank's blood, is it?
No, that's right. It's Mr. Mason Milverton's blood from when McGilded stabbed him 2 months ago. He killed Daddy.
It's so annoying. If only they accept Hurley's chemical analysis, we could prove that.
But they won't, so unfortunately, we can't use it as evidence to support our case. Well, that sucks. That fucking sucks.
Bother.
Tossed the gun at other people, so you picked up and made your escape. Okay, that's crazy. Show us the gun then. Did I hear you correctly? She threw the gun out of the room? That's right. After the broker fell to the floor, she started walking over. Well, where exactly? In the direction of the storeroom door, to where I was watching. Of course, I quickly retreated, and then the girl dropped the gun through the people onto the floor on my side of the door. Why on earth would she do such a thing? I couldn't tell you. Perhaps she was hoping to distance herself from the murder weapon. Without thinking, I went and picked it up. I suppose I was worried about just leaving it there in case any more tragedies took place. So it was you, in fact, who took the third gun from the scene of the crime. Yes, it was yours truly. I left it clear up to my lackeys and left. Clear up?
We made a bit of mess around the counter, so Mr. Whistle and Flew here told us to tidy up. He thinks he's our bloomin' mum sometimes.
Well, I was paying you enough, by God. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket? You're like a bull. What? What the fuck is going on here? Hello? Wait, can I pursue either of them? I mean, this one is clearly highlighted, but... What? What's going on?
Excuse me.
Gentlemen. You little toe rag. Something wrong, Sunshine? That should be my line. You do realize you were just violently shaking Mr. Skulkin. I don't blame you, he's very shakeable.
Blimey, this D's a bit of an hooligan, ain't he?
What's going on just now?
You saw him, he grabbed me with his he grabbed me a whistle. Why the blazes, he said, didn't you mention the third gun we got you down the station?
And why didn't you?
'Cause we didn't know nothing about it. Or that flaming people in the door.
Oh, sorry about that. I can be prone to losing my rag sometimes. Not hurt, are you?
God blimey. See the way he's looking at me? I'm telling you, this D gives me the willies.
That was strange. Inspector doesn't normally get quite as worked up as that. He would normally grab someone.
No, that wasn't like Craigsy at all. He's normally all sweetness and light, no matter what I say to him.
Yeah, because you're you. Yes, well, I think you might be a special case, Iris.
Well, anyway, that was definitely out of character.
Interesting. Oh. Here we go. Interrupt the cross-examination. The results of the test that was ordered earlier, my lord. Ah, the blood on the accused's overcoat. Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. I presume you have no objection, counsel. No, my lord. Well, there you have it. The report, please, Inspector. Yes, sir. Traces of human blood were found on the overcoat of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. From the extent of the stains, it would appear that they were the result of spattering following a gunshot wound. Really? Not a stabbing? Which was what happened? End of report. Goodness me. Oh my god, that's a new one. You will never be a JoJo character. You will never be them. See? What did I tell you?
Objection!
No, the blood on that coat is not Mr. Windibank's. What on earth makes you say that, Counsel? The coat originally belonged to Magnus McGilded. Just before his coat was deposited at Windibank's, McGilded had fatally stabbed Mr. Mason Milverton. So the blood on that overcoat is the blood of the brickmaker from the omnibus case.
Objection!
Well, the dead cannot speak. Isn't that right, my Nipponese friend? Sorry? 2 months ago in this very courtroom, did you not argue fervently for Gilded's innocence? And yet, now that the man is dead, you brand him as a murderer. Your conduct shatters any shred of respect you may have earned for yourself in this country. Ah, but that was... I call it a bully disgrace. Treachery, that's what it is. Oh yeah, I forgot these guys were here. They haven't spoken up in a long time.
How to determine whether the blood on the coat is 2 months old or not? Even a stereoscope couldn't help the answer to that problem pop out. It can't be done.
The science isn't there yet. Can't see how old the clots are.
Mr. Sholmes is a detective, not a chemist.
Would you put such faith in a chemical formula devised by me, for example, when I'm a communications officer? I yelled out, Pirotsky to starving boy, and he ran away crying. What? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure you're very friendly if we get to know you. Herlock Sholmes is barely more than a figment of the public's imagination. His name carries no weight in this courtroom. No weight at all. Damn, they fucking hate him. How could you say that? Victory is sweet indeed. This proves that my testimony is the whole truth from start to finish. How do you arrive at such a conclusion, sir? As the witness said, the accused's coat was spattered with the blood of the victim. The only way Mr. Grayton could possibly have known that fact is if he saw it happen. Okay, what if we look at the rest of Gina's clothes, right? Gina doesn't wear that coat open. So if they test, you know, her shirt under it, then if there's no blood on that, then she's good. And we saw when we sprayed her with the little blood detecting spray, that there wasn't any stain on her clothing underneath the coat. The only way Mr. Grayton could possibly have known that fact is if he saw it happen. In other words, his testimony is solid, and the conclusion is singular. It was the accused who shot the victim in this case. That is the whole truth. Ah! Dude, I'm gonna get, like, paralyzed if I keep on taking those hits. My lord, been a long battle this one, but this old warhorse has something to say now, if you please. Mr. Foreman, as of this moment, sir, the squadron has reached its final decision. Oh boy, another one. Ready, men? All for one now.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Still with the head bonks. Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached a unanimous verdict. Summation time, you know what it is. The defense has consistently failed to unpick this witness's testimony. Here's to any attempt you may make at unpicking the juror's decision being equally successful. Ugh. Whoa! Dude, I'm gonna get so much back pain when I'm older. I don't believe it after I've come so far. Or concussion. Dude, those many hits to the head. How's it all unraveling on me so fast? How very distressing to be held in such low esteem. Sholmes? That's you? He's in disguise? Would you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Officer, you've delivered the report now. That will be all, thank you. It occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Naruhodo, that scientific truths are determined but not by science, but by none other than the human mind. I know that voice. Am I going mad? Ah! Oh, fuck. Mr. Sholmes! What is the meaning of this? Oh, yeah. Now that's a pose. Order, order, order! What business do you have here, detective? The last I heard, you were recuperating in the hospital. As well I would be. It had not been set upon an errand. What errand?
Hey, it's really you. You're awake at last.
Yes, good day, Iris. I appear to be rather late to rise. My apologies. Now, my lord, if you will humor me. In what manner, sir? I have something of great importance I wish to give the young lawyer over there. I need no more than 5 minutes. Would you be so kind as to spare us the time? Ew, this is just like the time when Susato came in last minute in the first case and gave us the thing we needed. What do you say to this, Lord Van Zieks? This child has taken many hours of the court's time, having spent so long already. Exactly, having spent so long already, we don't want to go wasting any more precious time. As I was saying, having spent so long already, it would seem churlish to deny defense a mere 5 minutes. Yeah. Well, very well then, counsel, you have 5 minutes. Alright, give me the pep talk. Oh shit. We're 3v1ing now. My dear fellow, I apologize for my tardy arrival. Mr. Sholmes, are you alright now? Alright. I'm all wrong. Sorry. I've only just managed to summon the strength to stand, man. I have to judge for 5 minutes. Even that may prove too much for me. Hey, forgive me, should I pass out? Oh my god, he's on the verge of death. Well, not quite. He's fine, but man. Let's make this discussion as short as possible.
Harry, this place is full of idiots. None of them can see how wonderful your chemical blood analysis is.
Ah, well, that concoction of mine was really just a bit of sport to assist me in my investigations. I never took the trouble to refine it for appraisal by the scientific community. An oversight on my part. Right. Modesty? Surely not. But enough of that. I'm here to give you this, my dear fellow. Ooh, a bento. I was getting hungry. What's that? A lavender furoshiki wrapping? A leaving present from Mrs. Sato. From Mrs. Sato? If possible, matters were to be settled without me giving you this. Let me guess, the third gun is in there. Those were her instructions when she asked me to do her this favor. I don't understand. Mr. Sato foresaw today's events, I believe. She knew that the culprit would attempt to escape justice by means both devious and underhanded. And that you, Mr. Naruhodo, fighting fairly as you are wont to do, would find yourself in considerable peril. At that very moment of crisis, you were to be given this small parcel. Those were the dear lady's instructions. Leaving present from What is this?
Oh, it's the machine I made.
Oh. The machine? Oh, the fucking cat door device? That's plot relevant? Chekhov's cat door maker? What is that? It's very funny. Literally Chekhov's gun, but like it's a door maker. It's just shaped like a gun. So duh, it probably be relevant at some point. Maybe. Cat flap-a-mat. I can make it.
Cat flap for a little furry friend like Waddy in seconds.
Okay, so how is this gonna help us? Are we gonna pop a door into Eggs Benedict over there?
What's Susie up to?
Mrs. Sato muttered the following words before she left. I'm a failure. I don't deserve to be a judicial assistant. What? Didn't she say something like that? You really are the best judicial assistant in the world.
Well, that's extremely flattering.
But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Why? Whatever did she mean by that, Mr. Sholmes? That night, when you left Winterbanks in pursuit of the thieves, Mrs. Sato made use of this contraption for a certain purpose. Oh! That's what made the peephole. The peephole was never there in the first place. That is your answer, my dear fellow. Holy shit! This changes everything. That explains why the peephole is so fucking big. Not at all cryptic, then. Sato-san uses Cat Flap-a-mat that night, but why? It also explains why there's a peephole in the first place in that door. It would seem strange to have a hole straight up through your door to your like vault, you know? Compact machine for the rapid creation of small flaps and larger doors to allow cats to come and go freely. You know, it's rare that you see him take an actual sip from that wine. I mostly see him just sniff it and toss it to the side. Your 5 minutes is over. We're out of time already? And Sholmes is fainting as we speak. Nope, he's still there. I'm grateful to you for affording us that brief recess, Mr. Reaper. Mr. Reaper, I need no thanks, Detective. After all, the die is cast. Is it really? The jurors are unanimous in their leanings. No doubt my learned friend will consider a summation examination. But any attempt to alter the verdict now would be utterly futile. I wonder... Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. The rest is down to you, dear fellow. What is your plan? The rest is down to me. We keep fighting. I need to be careful here. If I make a wrong move, the trial will end badly. My lord, if the defense requests... I think cross-examination is the move, right? Because Graydon had that piece of testimony where he looked through the peephole, but Graydon was gone, right? When we went in there, Sato looked at the scene with the little cat door thing to make a peephole. So yeah, all we have to do is present the little cat flap-o-matic, and that will contradict his testimony. Further cross-examination.
Objection!
The jurors have spoken. Protocol dictates that you may not cross-examine a new witness now.
Objection.
The defense is not asking for the cross-examination of a new witness, rather to continue with one of an existing witness. What? It would appear that a rather important detail has escaped your attention, Mr. Reaper. My lord, requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination. Ah, it is temporarily suspended. Here we go. This is peak lawyering.
So nobody can say anything then.
Bruno,
If Bruno has to resume his cross-examination of Mr. Graydon,
the court is obliged to allow it. I don't know if that's how that actually works, because the jury did unanimously declare guilty, but, you know, if they'll let me, I won't complain. Also, the goons are gone. I would remind those present that this is my courtroom. I concur that the defense is entirely within its rights to request the continuation of the cross-examination. However, I will not permit an unremitting protraction of these proceedings. Therefore, I have decided to afford the defense one final opportunity in concluding the cross-examination. Counsel, you must choose but one statement from the witness's testimony, and but one piece of evidence to present in support of your argument against it. A single chance to present evidence? If, following that, the situation remains unchanged, I shall move to adjudication. Is that clear, counsels? You will not present the witness. You will not press the witness any further. My lord. Yes, my lord. A single statement and a single piece of evidence. Most generous. Well then, Mr. Naruto, it's high time I fell in a dead faint. I leave this in your capable hands. Dude. Okay, Sheldon's the best. I'm sorry I ever doubted you. I'm sorry I ever doubted you, my goat. Mr. Sholmes! It sounds so insultingly before the court in a state of such high fever. Either the man has extraordinary strength of mind or an extraordinary lack of feeling. I imagine he's feeling very little now. The detective is sleeping soundly in one of the antechambers. Strike a man when he's down, why don't you? Well then, counsel, you're fully prepared. Yes. One statement, one piece of evidence. I wonder what the game would have been like if I chose summation examination. Do you think they would do a split path? Or do you think they'd force me back onto the cross-examination? Alright, well, I won't let Mr. Sholmes down, or Iris. So we can't press any further, right? I won't waste the final chance that Sasato-san has given me. This is going to decide the entire outcome of the trial. Very well then, under the terms I've outlined, you may resume the cross-examination. Here we go. Oh shit. Dude, this music is hype. Alright, I'm gonna save. I'm gonna test. Let's see what file do I overwrite. This one. I'm going to test pressing.
Hold it!
Mr. Graydon, I take issue with your...
Objection!
No, my learned friend. I take issue with you. Oops. His lordship made it very clear that the defense is permitted to present only a single piece of evidence. The prosecution demands stern punishment. Will any mischief used to make more of this cross-examination? Oh shit, I do get punished for pressing. Well, fuck. Ho ho ho. Well, he seems to be having fun with it at least.
Oh, you threw that mischief in your face, Bruno.
Ugh, he threw those just desserts in my face. Twice. Alright, I can only present one single piece of evidence. Okay. Alright, well, it's gotta be this one. Here we go. Actually, we should examine this first, to be honest. It's got like a little face. Oh, it's got like a chainsaw thing. Those vicious teeth look like they could rip through almost anything.
They're good, aren't they? They're made of a special alloy developed just for this job. The cutter rotates 10 times a second, so we can get through any kind of door in no time at all.
And what are the two parts at the top there?
Ah, those are for attaching hinges to the section of the door that gets cut out.
Right, of course.
Nothing can match this machine for power. It can make mincemeat of even the toughest of doors.
Sounds so charming and friendly when you say what it's for, but it feels like the reality of the cat flap mat is that it's a grim weapon of door destruction.
Our guy is so adorable, there's nothing I wouldn't do for him. Even developing deadly weapons.
Oh, here we go.
Objection!
What on earth is that eccentric contraption, Counsel?
Oh, it's my cat flapper, my lord. It makes a way for cats to get in and out of a room. It can cut through any door you can think of. Make a new little door in the middle of it.
That's right, my lord. It's a device for creating so-called cat flaps. Small doors for cats to come and go as they please without their owners having to open the main door. I'm sure we can all work that out for ourselves. But that cat lover's contrivance has no possible relevance to this case. Oh, really? Of course it doesn't. To start with, there was no cat flap in the pawnbroker's store. Yeah, more Ace Attorney? Heck yeah. How's it going, Money Money? Good to see ya. It's also the last part of this Ace Attorney game. We're almost done. Can you believe it? It's bittersweet. I'm sad, but I'm also really fucking excited for what I'm going to play for you guys next. Not being a keeper of cats myself, I'm afraid I failed to see what this has to do with the matter at hand. Perhaps it would help if I described its function another way then. This contraption is able to create a peephole in any door you can imagine in practically no time at all. Well, I beg your pardon, a peephole, you say? 2 nights ago, we arrived at the scene only minutes after the murder of Mr. Windibank had taken place. That's right, according to the paperwork at the yard. It was you, your Japanese assistant, and Sholmes. How long have I been playing Ace Attorney? The series as a whole, or just this one? Because if it's just this one, I think it's been 25 streams, I believe, so far. As a whole, damn. It's probably been like a few years at least. Maybe a couple years. Yeah. Before I even started uploading my VODs to YouTube, my first Ace Attorney VODs were the Apollo Justice ones, but I did stream the original trilogy before that. That's right. According to the paperwork at the yard, it was you, your Japanese assistant, and Sholmes. Yes, the three of us were together. And it's recently only come to my attention that my assistant made use of this device at the time. Your assistant did what? There was a peephole in the storeroom door. I can attest to that. Now, Susato, why didn't you tell me this earlier? You say you're a failure, but at any point you could have told me that you used the device in the door. Because I looked through the peephole myself in order to see inside the locked storeroom. This is ludicrous. What are you trying to say? Of course there was a peephole at the door. I said as much in my testimony. Yeah, but your goons didn't see one. How else could I have witnessed the crime, for pity's sake? Yes, how could you? What? Consul, kindly say what you mean. Alright, it's time. Time to strike the final blow. What I mean is this, my lord. My assistant made the peephole in the storeroom door. And until such time as she did, the door had no hole in it to look through. What? No!
Objection!
This is a farce. Are you really suggesting that the peephole in the door was... Yes, it was created only after the incident had taken place by my judicial assistant using this device. Your assistant tampered with the crime scene whilst being fully aware of the gravity of her actions. Ah, that's why she said she was a failure and she didn't want to tell me. That is a most serious act of vandalism. For which I humbly apologize, my lord. It was in the few minutes that I've left the scene in order to pursue the Skulkin brothers and alert the police. Nevertheless, in the light of this new information... Look, if Susato didn't make that peephole in the first place, we never would have been able to see Gina in there, or Windibank's dead body for that matter. It becomes apparent that Mr. Graydon's testimony is riddled with holes. Riddled with... Explain yourself, counsel. The majority of Mr. Graydon's testimony that appears to incriminate the defendant. Yeah, Graydon loves the spin. He's spin to win, but spinning will not have him winning this time. It's based upon what he witnessed through the peephole in the storeroom door. Yes, that filthy ghost shooting the man in the back. However, if at the time of the incident, that peephole did not yet exist in the door, there's no possible way that you could have seen what you claim to have seen. In short, your entire testimony is a pack of lies. You're nothing but lies. Order, order, order. Is there any credence in this revelation?
Objection!
None whatsoever, as my learned friend must surely realize. Exactly. This is just one cheap trick designed to discredit me. I'm afraid not, sir. Of course it is. Do you seriously expect people to believe that a plaything can cut through a solid wooden door? Let's just try it right now, in the Old Bailey.
Oh yes, it's designed to be very powerful. It can cut through even the toughest of doors.
That's absurd. I don't believe it for a second.
Haha, I had a feeling you'd say that.
What?
Bye, Kui, time for dinner.
Oh, she did it already. And she said 2 cats' names. What, there's a second cat? Oh no, just one cat. I thought Kui was another cat. Young lady, this is the Old Bailey. One does not make cat flaps in the oak paneling of the Old Bailey. Well, she went ahead and did it for me. I'm not responsible for this child, alright? I might call her my daughter, but she's not. Blame Sholmes. I'm not done yet, don't worry. This doesn't mean that the people in the storeroom door at Windibanks was made by your machine. And there's no way you can prove that it was.
No, but it's easy.
What?
Cat flap my crates are all a fixed size. And the dimensions of the people at Winterbanks are an exact match. Old Silky's lost it for words.
Excellent work, Iris. Thank you. Now it's my students' friends' turn to be lost for words, I feel. I believe your judicial assistant has already left the country for your Eastern Island home. Well, yes, that's true. Then you may have some difficulty in establishing all the facts. For the sake of argument, let us assume the people has dimensions that are a perfect fit for this contraption. In that case, when was the people cut? The prosecution demands proof of your answer. Oh, shit. We can, I keep on clicking options instead of the court record. We have pictures. No people here. 1 a.m. People here at 1:30 a.m. So between 1 and 1:30. We don't have any other pictures, do we? Do we have an autopsy report? Time of death 1 to 1:30. Not very specific. What was the purpose of your line of inquiry, Lord Van Zieks? It's very simple, my lord. The defense argues that the people was created after the incident using this device, but now that the perpetrator has returned to her native land, she cannot testify to the fact. There is no proof. Ugh. And for as long as the defense remains unable to move when the people was made, my learned friend's claim amounts to nothing more than a baseless accusation. What? Indeed, that is so, Lord Van Zieks. Well, counsel?
Don't give up now, Runo. This is the time to create your own opening and force your way through.
I don't know if I can do this, but I do know one thing. Sasada-san is the greatest judicial assistant in the world. I hope she can hear us. Very well. The Council of Defense will present evidence to support the claim made. Proof that the people in the door of Winterbank storeroom was created after the event and not before. After the murder had taken place. There we go. Oh, I should probably present this one, right? Which one do I present? Oh, shit. Let me save. Well, I mean, ideally I'd present both, but this is the one that shows that the thing wasn't there. What do I do? I guess I'll do this one.
Take that!
What are you? A print from that detective's infernal cameras again? Saved by Sholmes twice. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT. My judicial assistant, Mrs. Sano Mikotoba, is an extremely intelligent and capable woman, which is why I never had any cause to doubt that she would have considered this scenario, made sure I had the necessary proof. And the necessary proof is this photographic print, counsel. This print shows a scene in the shop moments after the defendant entered the premises. I didn't even notice that, difference in the door. We had those the whole time. Agreed. And it also shows the accused mercilessly wielded a gun in the direction of the defenseless broker. But more to the point, it pictures the storeroom door in the background. Let me see that print again. I don't believe it. It really is quite remarkable. The door to the storeroom is completely devoid of people of any description. Got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Mr. Graydon, you can possibly have witnessed the crime as you claim to have done, because at the time it happened, there was no people in the door. In other words, your testimony is a catalog of lies. Spin out. I'm satisfied that the defense has substantiated its claim beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness's testimony is entirely fallacious. Get fucked. That it's not the only thing we now know beyond all reasonable doubt. My learned friend's assistant's guilt can no longer be denied. That woman tampered with the crime scene. And more importantly, good Lord, there's more forensics. The defense may have established a reprehensible instance of perjury, but that is no proof that this man is the victim's killer. Oh my god. Oh, you still have more fight in you, do you? What? I was there at the scene. It's true. And I was shot in the arm, it's true. But that's all. Yes, in fact, if you look at the circumstances, I'm the victim here. Oh, please. I don't believe this. But they're right, as it stands now. I don't have any definitive proof that he's the culprit.
Still, he can't worm his way out of it now.
Iris?
You know what they say? There's no point locking the cat's door after the cat has bolted. Isn't that right, Bruno?
I hope they never fix that door. It just has a cat door for the rest of time.
That's how he always says. One lie begets another. No, wait. That might have been the line I wrote for him in one of my stories.
Well, no matter who said it first, you're right. Mr. Graydon, not only did you give false testimony to the court, but the lies you told make no sense. Make no sense? What do you mean by such a remark? What you said in your testimony reveals that you know something you shouldn't have known. In other words, there's a fundamental inconsistency in your statements. Yeah, he knew that there was blood on the coat. What?
Objection!
This is provocative talk, counsel. Won't you enlighten the court? Explain this alleged inconsistency. Iris was right. One lie begets another. The inconsistencies revealed by the lies in the witnesses' statements. They show that Mr. Graydon had knowledge of something he shouldn't have known anything about. Namely, it's gotta be this. The bloodstains that were present on Miss Lestrade's coat. That's right, the victim's blood spattered all over him when she shot him. How could you possibly have known that? Obviously, because I saw her do it through the people in the... The point is not that you lied in your testimony, Mr. Graydon. It's the nature of the lie you concocted that is so revealing. You're not making any sense. Then let me ask you a simple question. How is it, Mr. Graydon, that you knew of the existence of the people in the storeroom door? What? Well, obviously, Mr. Cat got your tongue, witness. Or cat jokes? The people in the door was made after the incident occurred. And once I returned to the shop having failed to catch the 2 burglars, Scotland Yard's investigators arrived immediately. Since that time, the police have been at Windibank, constantly carrying out their investigation. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson?
Yes, of course. This place is chock full of pawned articles, and my lads have thoroughly examined them all. So I gave order to have officers working around the clock in shifts till we get through it all.
So consequently, there's no way that you, Mr. Graydon, could have gained access to the shop. He was inside the whole time. Therefore, you should have known nothing about the people in the storeroom door. So the fact that its existence forms a basis of your testimony is completely inexplicable.
Objection!
And yet, the fact remains that Mr. Graydon did maintain that he witnessed the crime take place to the peephole in the door.
How on earth is that possible? Could I have a word, please, Lord Van Zeeks?
Speak, Inspector.
It's just that I really ought to be getting back to the station now to put in my report. There's really nothing more I can add to this testimony, if that's all the same to you.
Permission denied. Oh. It's not all the same to me, Inspector. Not at all. You will remain exactly where you are until this trial concludes. What do you know? He also got riled up. A lot. At that goon to his left.
Of course, sir.
Mr. Graydon. You shouldn't have known about the existence of that people. Which can only mean you must have been informed about it by somebody else.
Objection!
Oh shit. He was told about it by Gregson. Stop there, my learned friend. You realize, I trust, that the words you just uttered have extremely serious implications. Yes, the defense believes that the details about the case that Mr. Graydon claims to have seen must have been revealed to him by a certain person before his testimony. And in fact, considering a particular clue we have, there's really only one person that could be.
Who is the person in question, counsel?
Who gave this witness details of the crime scene to facilitate his false testimony? Tobias, why would you do such a thing?
Take that!
Truth is, it can only have been you, Inspector Gregson.
Me?
Objection!
You had better have some proof to substantiate such a rash claim, my learned friend. Consider the fact that we have only been aware of Mr. Ashley Graydon's identity for the last few hours. We learned of it only during the course of the trial today. Indeed, preparations for his testimony were made with a great urgency during our hour-long recess, while the police executed the subpoena and brought the man here from the communications station. And until that time, Mr. Graydon would have had no idea. No inkling that he would suddenly be required to appear in court.
Are you suggesting that until such a time, he was summoned?
Yes, my lord. Till then, it's reasonable to assume he knew nothing of the people. It was only once Mr. Graydon was in the stand that he realized his position. But he would have to defend himself against the accusation that he was the third intruder. You're suggesting to the court that it was while this trial was in progress that he received the information. Well, we did see them, doing a little chit-chat with their backs turned to us at one point.
So that he could commit perjury in order to save his skin.
Exactly. And the only person with knowledge of the investigation that he had any contact with is you, Inspector Gregson.
This is blooming outrage. Why would I be giving away details of our investigations to this fella, eh? I was summoned to Lordship Chambers to the recess in any case. Have you forgotten that?
Quite true. I had a number of questions regarding the events that transpired at the pawnbrokery. Which means the first time these two laid eyes on one another was after proceedings resumed following the recess. Since then, they've been in full view of the stand, where such illicit discussions couldn't possibly have occurred.
Oh, I've just remembered something, Bruno.
What is it, Iris?
There was one time before, wasn't there? I think it was when Ginny was testifying.
Oh yes, now you mention it. When the bailiff was dispatched to retrieve McGilda's music box from the scene of the crime. That's it! It was during that testimony. I remember finding it strange at the time. Mr. Graydon and the inspector seemed to be having some kind of secret discussion. Inspector, how could you do this to me? I thought you were on my side. It would have been possible for you to give Mr. Graydon the information we needed then.
You little toe rag. You're making all this up. I'm a respectable Scotland Yard inspector, for crying out loud. Why would I do something like that? Why would I be giving away confidential details to the likes of this bloke?
Admittedly, you wouldn't have any reason to do something like that for no gain. But perhaps it was part of a deal of some kind, and it starts to make more sense. What deal, counsel? I wonder if perhaps, in exchange for details about the people at the crime scene, Mr. Graydon agreed to give a certain something to the inspector. The second disc. I'm sure I need not remind the inspector that, if found to be true, striking a deal of any kind with a witness would be considered a gross case of malfeasance.
Well,
Objection!
It's becoming clear that jumping in with accusations in this is this Nipponese student's specialty. I don't do that. But with the stakes so high, the prosecution is not prepared to listen to baseless charges. It is incumbent on the defense now to present evidence in support of this diabolical claim. Evidence? Just what are you proposing? The inspector demanded the witness in return. The court must see proof of this alleged deal. If Inspector Gregson really did strike a deal with Mr. Graydon, then logically, there's only one thing he could have asked for. That must be it.
Bruno, do you think it could be...
Yes. It's the missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle.
I must press you for an answer now, counsel. What evidence explains the nature of this alleged deal that Inspector Gregson made with the witness?
Disc number 2. Well, this is all we have that's related to it, but it's gotta be this.
Take that!
Yep. Easy game. Besides this murder, is it not true that you've been working on another very important case?
What are you getting at now, Sunshine?
Is it possible that this other top-secret case is what's alluded to in this newspaper article here? Oh, I guess I could have presented that too, huh? Classified secrets being leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice.
How the bleeding Nora could you...
We discovered during the course of this trial the music box deposited at Windibanks by Magnus McGilded. A special music box designed to play 2 discs at once. It would seem very likely now that encoded on the pair of discs were in McGilded's possession or the leaked classified secrets. So I put it to you, Inspector, that in order to recover the second of the discs containing those secrets, you covertly made a deal with Mr. Graydon in which you exchanged disc for details of the case.
You little... Ah!
I hope he doesn't lose his job for this. I like him.
Order.
On the day of the incident, when we met you at Windibanks, you said this.
I'll be taking out whatever it is that McGill is down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over.
No, don't give it to him. It's mine, that is. Mine.
Sorry, miss. Anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now.
Scotland Yard already knew at the time, isn't that right? That Magnus McGilded was involved in the stealing of government's secrets.
My orders were, cover the medium used to convey these secrets leaked from the ministry, and do it on the QT. Strictly hush-hush.
That explains why, when I presented this disc as evidence to the court, you objected so heavily, I presume. Was it because you knew that it had contained highly confidential information?
Blimey, not likely. I mean, I wasn't sure of it myself. I realized that was a possibility, that's all. Inspector, surely you're not saying that in order to acquire the second of these music box discs, you didn't reveal confidential details of the crime scene to the witness to aid and abet this man in giving false testimony? There's no other way that Mr. Graydon could have known of the existence of the peephole. It's the only explanation. A deal was struck between these two men. Double KO.
Objection!
If, and I stress, if the sobering assertion turns out to be founded in truth, it would mean that the second disc is, as we speak, here in this very courtroom. Wait, what? In this room? How could you possibly make a claim like that? Because Inspector Gregson is a Scotland Yard detective. What? What's that supposed to mean, hey? As a seasoned policeman, the inspector will have approached this alleged deal with caution. Certainly, he would not have accepted a gentleman's agreement in this matter. No, he would have insisted on having the article agreed upon in the palm of his hand. Oh, gracious, then you mean to say, I hope we don't play those government secrets out to the public right now. Here's the item in question. His possession. Here's the second disc.
Yes!
Yes! It's been a while since I heard that. The defense demands that the inspector is searched at once.
Definitely. They could only have struck a deal with each other when Ginny was testifying before, and Craigsy hasn't moved from the witness stand since.
My lord, please. Order an examination of his personal effects immediately. Well, Inspector? You seem very chill about this. This young lad wants to tone down his imagination. He's insulted me and my profession quite enough. However, if I'll put this matter to bed and dispel any doubts about my involvement, then I'll happily submit to a body search. What? He's gonna agree to it? I presume you're aware of the precipice on which you now teeter, my learned student friend. You made a most serious allegation against Scotland Yard here. If following the search of the inspector's personal effects, no disc is found, you will be deemed unfit for court service. This trial will end, and my country's government will formally demand of yours that you are severely reprimanded. That sounds serious. Indeed, to have a visiting student make such a defamatory remarks about our country's most senior police force is not something Her Majesty's government will be able to overlook.
You're just threatening Luna because you're scared.
The accusation is beyond serious. You must be prepared for grave consequences. It's true. Can't imagine Gregson would have accepted a gentleman's agreement for something so critical. Disc must have physically changed hands, which means the inspector should have it. But somehow, something doesn't feel quite right here. Oh, what about when Gregson shook the hell out of Nash? Maybe the disc changed hands then. Very well, Consul. You know the implications, so let me ask you one final time. Yes, my lord. Do you still persist in formally requesting a search of the inspector's personal effects? Search someone else. Yes, the defense formally demands the search be conducted. Well, don't say you weren't warned, but your typical Nipponese stubbornness may well land you in hot water this time. Perhaps the lesson will do you some good. Fair enough, I've got nothing to hide. Very well then. Bailiff, conduct a search of the inspector's personal effects, please. What? Why was my slam weak there? Why did I lose all my power? What? Now, what's all this? I'm the one you're accusing, aren't I? I thought you wanted to search me. No, Inspector. Not you. Somebody else. What's the meaning of all this, eh? Lost at it, have you, sunshine? Coach, and I've put up with this nonsense? You're being completely irrational. Powers of observation. Be quiet, all of you. What? Oh shit, Iris!
Dude, her aura went up by like 10,000 points or some shit. She silenced the entire Old Bailey.
Bruno's doing what you all told him to do and having the courage of his convictions, so you should respect that and listen to what he has to say in good faith. Because that's a British way.
Well said, young lady. Indeed, this court is in awe of the defense counsel's conviction and eagerly awaits his next words. You what? Don't be too hasty, my lord.
If I'm not mistaken about the things I've seen in court today, I'm fairly sure that I know who has that disc at the moment. There's only one person it can be.
Whom do you request to search now?
Nash Skulkin.
Take that!
Of my lord, Mr. Nash Skulkin.
Well, I never.
Yeah? Me? Him?
Very well then, bailiff. Restrain the witness and conduct a thorough search of his personal effects.
But please, my lord.
Inspector? Scotland Yard has to object to this search.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, Inspector, your objections carry no weight here, dude. I'm actually goated. This game is so easy, dude. I'm kind of nice with it. Ace Attorney Pro right here. My brain is massive. My eyes wide open. In this courtroom, only the prosecution and the defense have the authority to object.
But Lord Van Zeeks,
I have no idea what forces are in play that might influence your actions. But personally, I have no intention of obstructing the course of this trial. Reading's hard.
bailiff, carry out the search.
Now, hold on a mo. I don't know nothing. Nothing about no disc. Cut it out!
Yeah, my lord. In the witness's pocket. I found this. Maybe Gregson slipped it into his pocket without him knowing, while he was violently shaking him. Another music box disc.
I don't know nothing about it. Nothing.
That is the second music box disc left behind by Magnus McGilded. Is it not, Inspector Gregson?
Ugh. Ah!
Dude, those chips must be stale as hell by now.
Mr. Skulkin, what do you have to say for yourself?
Go on, Bennett. I mean, just go on, Flamin' Bennett. I swear I don't know nothing about that disc. Honest to God.
So would you please explain what exactly is going on here? The alleged deal that was struck between this witness and this detective, no?
Without question, my lord.
Then for pity's sake, why on earth was this man in possession of the disc that the inspector traded for information?
Inspector Gregson is a shrewd, calculating man who rarely loses his composure. But at one particular point in this trial, he exhibited some unusual behavior for a brief moment.
I don't recall. What unusual behavior?
It was, yes, during my cross-examination of Mr. Graydon. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbroker that night, was it by any chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket? I admitted nothing of the sort. When Mr. Graydon answered my questions, the inspector appeared to have grabbed Nash Skulkin by his coat and was shaking him violently.
Yeah, he did know. He thought me noggin was gonna fall clean off, I did. I was wishing I'd been born as me brother, I was.
What exactly happened to make the detective attack you like that?
I ain't got a clue. He just suddenly turned and grabbed me, whistled like that, and started shaking me. And the blazes, didn't you mention the third gun when you got down to the station?
That's what he said. Yeah, they right down my ear hole, he did. Mate, it's still throbbing now. The way the detective behaved then was extremely out of character. But looking back now, it must have been then that he did it. That was the opportunity Inspector Gregson created for himself in order to hide the disc.
Well, bless my wig. He hid it?
You.
I'm afraid I fail to comprehend the motive here. The detective had acquired the disc he was after. Why on earth would he then proceed to hide it in another man's pocket?
He was 2 steps ahead, but I was 3 steps ahead of him.
This is a court of law. He could have submitted the item as evidence.
It would appear, my lord, that the inspector was not at liberty to do that.
Why ever not?
As the man himself revealed earlier, his current assignment was some special conditions.
My orders were, cover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry, and do it on the QT. Strictly hush-hush. Hush-hush? Top secret assignment, is it? As far as we are aware, the information stolen comes from confidential government communications. It would seem that if information would be revealed in court as evidence, it would be problematic. Does that sum up the situation, Inspector? I'm operating under direct orders from the ministry. I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to answer that question. So, realizing there was a chance that you may be searched here in court, you took steps to hide the disc you had acquired from the witness. What does this mean?
He only pretended to attack Mr. Skulkin in order to get close enough to him. Slipped the second disc in his pocket.
So it was all a pretense? Well now, Inspector Gregson. And you, Mr. Graydon. Are you prepared to admit to the accusation made against you of this alleged deal?
He does not look like he's giving up. Admit to it? Yours truly? Please. Mr. Graydon? Clearly, our Eastern visitor has an uncommonly active imagination. However, there's no proof that I passed that disc to the inspector.
Objection!
But then, how do you explain the reason why you knew about the people? I'm under no obligation to explain. What? Yes, I lied in my testimony. That I admit, so sentence me accordingly. But that is all I admit. Murder, leaking government secrets, striking a deal with a detective. All this is this young Eastern man's fancy. I have no idea what any of this is about. You... what? Dude, my head is so fucked. My skull is gonna be caved in by the time this trial is over. But what about you then, Inspector Gregson? Do you admit to making a deal with Mr. Graydon in order to acquire the disc?
Ladies and gents of the jury, as a Scotland Yard inspector, I will declare this and nothing more. I'm acting in the best interest of the country. Whatever I've done, it's been in the name of justice. So, as members of the public of this fine country, I'd like to think that justice will be your guiding light when you're making your decisions. This is quite a quandary indeed. Rarely have I encountered such extraordinary tumultuousness in the concluding of a trial. Nevertheless, in the absence of any further evidence to be presented, I believe it is time that we put the matter to the jury for the final readings.
Really? Things are still up in the air, like we haven't decisively proven anything. Sympathize with the old inspector. He's a dependable man, I'm quite sure. In service, one becomes a good judge of character. Even crossing your eyes doesn't help when it comes to looking at this case. It's all blurred to me.
Well, as a fellow professional, I'd like to put my faith in a detective, really.
Graydon is a highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idol. Stop.
Detective has very much trust in eyes. More than this I cannot say.
I don't believe it. These 6 jurors they're going to believe Gregson. They declare their decision now.
Is Ginny going to be found guilty?
I don't manage to produce some definitive evidence right now, then we're going to lose. Either some proof that Graydon killed Mr. Windibank or stole the government's secrets. Or some evidence to force Gregson into admitting that he struck a deal with the witness. How do we do either? I'm fucked.
Well then, counsel, I think it's time I impose the jurors to declare their final decisions, no? That is, unless you have some compelling evidence you have thus far not presented to the court.
Yeah, I'll present the fucking cat flap-o-matic to Graydon's chest. See what that does. Now that the judge called on the jurors to announce their leanings, Gino will be found guilty. Throw evidence? What the fuck do we have? Gregson or Graydon? Choices, choices. Decisions. Dude, and we're at our last life too. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What? Will this ever be relevant? How about this? A gilded case note. Evidence against Gregson. What could that be? Dude, I have no idea. Or McGilded. Huh. I mean, what if we presented this to Gregson? The second disc is here. If we, for whatever reason, end up playing both discs at once to the court and prove that they're government secrets, then that would perhaps prove that they had a deal, right? Would that work? Is that even sound? I mean, it's fucked up. We're gonna ending up leaking the government secrets to the whole world. But that's like, I don't know. Everything else here is like useless. Gregson. Inspector Gregson, there's one final piece of evidence I would like you to see. Eh? What's that then? If you refuse to acknowledge that you did in fact strike a deal with the witness here today, you leave us no choice but to examine this piece of evidence thoroughly. Well, go on. Autoplay's on. Alright, looks like we're gonna have to force his hand here. One final piece of evidence to get this detective to admit to the deal he clearly struck with Graydon. Well, yeah, I guess if we threaten to play the discs, then maybe he'll admit to it. So that we don't have to, you know, actually play them. Yeah, I think this will work.
Take that!
Looks like I'm right. Yes, with a disc already in place to play. I think perhaps now would be a good time to listen to the sound produced by the music box again. Only this time, with the second disc we've just discovered set in place as well.
Goodness, that disc console. Oh, no, wait, I can't let you do that.
Why not?
Because, well, because it's got nothing to do with this case. That's why.
Objection.
Not true, Inspector.
Eh?
The defense has already proposed that the sounds heard by the court earlier from this music box were part of a Morse code message. We know that Morse code comprises of two distinct tones. The defense believes that the second disc contains the second tone needed to complete the message. And now we have a chance to confirm that theory.
Crying out loud, Sunshine, we're talking about state secrets here. You go letting the whole courtroom hear confidential information like that. It's treason.
Then do you admit the charge? That in order to protect those state secrets, you engaged in unlawful dealings with the witness?
You're mad. If you let that secret information out into the public domain, you'll be making an enemy of the entire British government, you idiot.
Objection.
Let's not forget, Inspector, that you, a Scotland Yard officer, leaked confidential case details to a witness. That you continue to lie to the court. And all because by fair means or foul, you're determined to do your duty. Well, by fair means or foul, I'm prepared to do mine.
Don't you dare.
I will stop at nothing to protect my client. I don't care who I make an enemy of. Ooh, he likes me. He's like, ooh, I'll pour one out for my boy. He's grown. My lord, if you please. The court must hear the sounds made by that music box.
Come on, Van Zieks, for Pete's sake, stop him.
Objection.
Ooh, the heels are out. For the inspector. Inspector, you should know my methods by now. I'm a prosecutor. I'm no Scotland Yard puppet. In this courtroom, my duty is to the law. So let me propose a toast to uncovering the truth. By fair means or foul. Van Zieks is taken to a liking to me. I can feel it.
Very well. The defense's stance here and that of the prosecution has been made very clear, I feel. Therefore, in accordance with the defense's request, the court will now listen to this music box is set in operation once more.
Wow, I can't believe we're actually playing it.
This time with the second disc in place, in both discs playing simultaneously.
Surely they'll admit to it. Like, they'll admit to it before it plays, right? What's gonna happen? We're actually letting it play. It's unmistakable now. It's Morse code.
All right, admit it, whatever you want. But for the love of God, shut that blooming box up.
You already let it play the whole thing, dude. Let me ask you again then, Inspector Gregson. Did you or did you not strike a deal with the witness next to you in the stand, Mr. Ashley Grayton?
Specifically, did you furnish the witness with confidential case details in exchange for this music box disc? Did you reveal the existence of the people in the pawnbroker storeroom's door, Inspector?
I did.
Stop, what are you doing, man?
It's all exactly like the young Eastern lawyer said.
When the trial resumed after the recess, and we were stood here in the stand together, that's when he approached me with the deal. Shut up, you imbecile! Shut up!
Psst, you there. You're the detective who turned up at the pawnbroker the other day, aren't you? I may have something you're looking for, Inspector. With me at this very moment. So how about a trade? I suggest you accept. All information that may make certain individuals uncomfortable will soon become very public indeed. A
couldn't let that information become public knowledge, not under any circumstances.
I wonder what that Morse code actually says. Because, well, if it is Morse code, you can translate it, right? So, some words were probably spelled out, right?
I accepted the man's proposal and told him details about the case that should have put him in the clear. People at the storeroom door, the bloodstains over the overcoat.
By giving false testimony, this witness intended to have the defendant wrongly accused of murder. Inspector, you knew that. Yet you still revealed those details to facilitate the witness's perjury.
I did. And it turned out the people had only been made that night after the incident took place. Scotland Yard wasn't aware of that, if I'm perfectly honest. Oh, Mr. Graydon,
What do you have to say for yourself? There's nothing and no one left for you to hide behind. You struck a deal with the inspector in order to escape conviction of a very serious crime. Namely this. You are the third intruder who broke into the pawnbrokery on the question. And you perpetrated the murder of the proprietor, Mr. Pop Windibank. You. Dude, his outfit's all disheveled. Oh, your cane. Traitor! Oh my god. Is he... It's alright?
Bailiff, strain that man.
At once. Dude, his hair's all fucked up too? That's it then. It's all over. Oh, Gregson's okay. Is this Ginny? No, it's gotta be, Graydon. Ashley Graydon. I despised my life growing up. The slums are vile places. I was cursed from birth, born into poverty, son of a penniless artisan. My parents did nothing but quarrel all day long. What little money they had was never spent on me. Ah, now we get your sob story, huh? So I set about studying to better myself, to one day escape from that hellhole.
And you eventually became a communications officer. I admire your determination.
And then you decided to try to sell government secrets. Why? Money. Isn't it obvious? Because I wanted money. Even now, years later, the nightmares of my life in the slums wake me in the small hours. I wanted to drown them out with more money than anyone who lived in that squalor could even imagine. Then one day, I met him. Mr. Magnus McGilded. You're a fiend with a core talent, so you are. I have money to throw you away if you're interested. What you need to do is go along with me little plan now. It's all his fault. He's the true villain. Oh my god. Rich people are the villains yet again. To no one's surprise. I was to steal the ministry's telegraphic message logs, and McGilded would buy them for a handsome sum. As I was responsible for inspections of the ministry's communications office, it was a simple enough task. The Lord, the devil's offerings, how easy it is to succumb.
But you must surely have realized the seriousness of the crime you're committing.
And for that reason, I took great lengths to ensure that my actions were untraceable. By using this music box. My father was a brickmaker, though my mother divorced him when I was still a child. Yes, Mr. Mason Milverton. That's right, he was very skilled with his hands. He once been a music box maker's apprentice. I imagined his skills would be sufficient to create a machine that could generate Morse code. So I sought my father again, to employ his services. It was the first time I'd seen him since I left the slums 10 years earlier.
Look at you, Ashley. What a fine gent you become, eh?
was a different man to the one in my memory. A thin, frail old man. But poverty had never broken him, never corrupted him like it had me. I was sure he wouldn't help me if I told him the real reason. So I made up a story. Got some work for you, Father. I need some music box discs made.
Music box discs, eh?
A musician friend of mine has written some music he wants to sell to the public. I brought the score with me. There are two, actually.
I'd be delighted, son. It's been 20 years since I did any work like this, though. Fetch my tools, would you? They're in the loft.
That's how I had him make the two discs. Maybe this game's true villain is just greed, thereby splitting the information in two. You were taking considerable precautions indeed. It was to protect myself as much as anything. It meant that I could deal with McGilded in two separate transactions. First involved the first of the two discs and the music box for playing them. I exchanged them with McGilded for 10 guineas. Then on receipt of the second disc, he would pay 1,000 guineas. So, what happened on the omnibus 2 months ago? Was the second part of a deal? The exchange of a second disc? Yes, I sold the man information that way a number of times already, but it seems he became reluctant to part with his money.
Doesn't make quite make sense, Mr. Graydon. For why was it on the omnibus 2 months ago? Your father, Mr. Milverton, was the one dealing with the McGilded and not yourself.
When I received 1,000 guineas after my first completed deal with McGilded, I decided to give 200 to my father for his troubles. My father realized something was amiss. In time, he worked out that I must be involved in something dubious, and when he did, he said it to me.
Next time there's an exchange, you let your old man do it, understand? Otherwise, I won't take your money anymore.
You don't want no dirty money. That was my father's old way of dealing with it, I suppose. Climb into the omnibus, hand over the second disc, and take the money from McGilded. That's it. He had no idea what was actually on the discs I asked him to make. He never knew. Just like I'll never know why everything went so horribly wrong that night. All I know is that the disc was taken from him, and he never returned home. It was only then that I found out what sort of monster McGilded really was. So after 10 years of not once uttering it, I swore my father's name. To exact revenge. I feel like... I feel like that line would be better delivered without that goofy pose. Or maybe it is better this way. That's kind of his thing. Ace Attorney's always goofy. As anyone with even the remotest knowledge of the man will no doubt be able to imagine, Mr. McGilded brought all his wealth and influence to bear in the most despicable of ways. Crush any semblance of justice in his trial. The crime scene was tampered with, evidence was fixed, and witnesses were bribed. The trial 2 months ago was a farce from start to finish. Feet had barely touched British soil back then. I walked into that hornet's nest completely unaware of the sinister background to it all. I made plenty of money out of my dealings with McGilded by then, so I spared nothing in my arrangements 2 months ago. I knew exactly who to hire. If you're willing to pay the price, there are people in the city willing to do anything you ask. McGilded himself had shown me that. Are you saying that? I think you have the picture now. After he twisted everything to his favor in his courtroom to ensure that he walked free, you killed him. I took matters into my own hands and delivered the justice that monster deserved. The tragic accident following the trial here 2 months ago was planned and executed by yours truly. Damn. Damn, that's cold. Well, good for you, but not for that second part. That second murder you did. You didn't have to do that. Dude, the game had us thinking that it was, fucking Van Zeeks. Trying to bait and switch us. Gilded's death that day was caused by this man. It's not inconvenient, sir. There are some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. It is time for the inspection. They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I'm asking if I could be present for myself. Isn't that policeman who came to tell me Gilded here he could examine the omnibus again? That's right, an imposter hired by me. Gilded used his wealth to manipulate the trial. He paid people to adulterate the omnibus with all manner of false evidence. He threatened witnesses to lie in their testimony. So I gave the man a taste of his own medicine. Once the omnibus was doused in paraffin, one of my sham policemen ushered Gilded inside and sent him on a one-way journey to hell. An eye for an eye. That's how I avenged my father's death.
Spine-chilling account indeed.
But that wasn't the end of it for me. There was a loose end, you see. A loose end? Yes, I should think it's obvious. The second disc, which my father had taken to exchange with McGilded.
Ah, yes, there was indeed no mention of it in the man's trial 2 months ago. He'd been removed from the scene of the crime.
When I realized it was missing, I remembered something. Something from the first time I dealt with McGilded.
Ooh, another one of these.
This is the first of the 2 discs. At the music box, you need to play them. Well, look at that now. What an ingenious little invention. So then, as promised, 2 guineas for you, young man. What's this? Windermegs Pawnbrokery. Aye, 'tis a pawnbroker's ticket, so it is. You can use it to redeem an article I've deposited there for ye. There's no need to give a name. Just hand over the ticket and tell the fiend the watchword. Put a jewel in the pawn for ye. It'll fetch a good 10 guineas if you sell it, so it will. I've never heard of a pawnbrokery being used in quite that way before. Have you not, Mr. Graydon? London's pawnbrokeries are very useful places, you know. Each one is like an extremely secure vault.
I like those little stylized CGs.
So I knew if he had taken steps to hide the disc, it would be in that pawnbroker somewhere. Well, the night he killed my father, he must have entrusted the ticket to someone. To Gina. I remember now. And when we first met you at Windermegs that afternoon 2 days ago, you had a description of Miss Lestrade written down. How did you know who you were looking for? In the trial, that pickpocket's testimony was clearly peculiar. Anyone could see that. I realized immediately that she was another of McGilded's pawns, that he must have threatened her somehow. I was fairly convinced it would be her who had the ticket, so I started to make some inquiries. I had a strong suspicion the girl would come out of the woodwork on the redemption deadline. He was absolutely right. And yes, sure enough, she did. All I needed to do was wait until the girl went to Windermegs to redeem the articles. But unfortunately, she redeemed only McGilded's overcoat and the one disc that was in his pocket. Excuse me. The all-important music box with the second disc inside was missing, because it had already been forfeited 2 days earlier. But I was unaware of that fact. Had I not been, I could have avoided my nighttime excursion.
Meanwhile, as our investigation into the stolen government secrets was progressing, we picked up on the fact that McGilded was involved.
Inspector, recovered fast.
Well, it was to recover the stolen information as quickly as possible, so we started gathering the fellow's possessions and examining whatever we could lay our hands on. We had a full-scale investigation going on at the yard. We had to keep it as quiet as we could.
Inspector here took the disc from me in the pawnbroker that day. I became nervous. I was sure the music box and the second disc were still in there in the shop somewhere, so I knew that it was a race against time. I had to find those articles before the police did. So that's what prompted you to break into the place that same night. With the help of your old friends, the Skulkin brothers. What happened that night in the pawnbrokery? I can only describe as a nightmare. While Nash and Ringo were searching the counter, we located the music box I sold to Matilda on the shelves of forfeited articles. The second disc was inside. Yes, I slipped into my pocket with a very deep sigh of relief. But then, something entirely unexpected happened.
What are you doing in my shop?
Gunshot rang out in the shop, and I felt a sharp pain in my left arm. The broker fired his gun, and the bullet pierced your limb. Yes, exactly. But unfortunately, I decided to bring my own gun with me that night, just in case. Before I knew what was happening, I'd fired back. The man had already turned to flee. I had intended to fire in his direction, much less kill him. But unfortunately for both of us, the bullet hit home. It struck him in the middle of his back as he fled through the storeroom door for refuge. Sorry tale. It all took place in the blink of an eye. I don't imagine Nash and Ringo even realized what had happened at first. I was terrified, so I fled. And that's the whole story. That's everything that happened at Winterbanks on that wretched night. Tragic. Man. Earlier, you called me Gilded a monster. A man who used his wealth and influence to distort the facts and escape justice with the crime of murder. What tragic irony. Yeah. He became the monster he feared. But what you have done is exactly the same. He had become the very monster you saw and despised so deeply in McGilded. Yes, I think I have. Well, damn. That was heavy, dude. Eggs Benedict is still a dick, though. Can't forgive him for that. But at least we know his motives. Glad he got his revenge, at least. Oh, this has been a long and exhausting trial. However, it would seem that at last we have arrived at the truth. Inspector Gregson, what of Mr. Ashley Graydon? He's been restrained, my lord, and is being escorted to the yard. He'll be charged with the murder of Mr. Winterbank and the stealing of government secrets. Very good. The new inspector, regrettably, you will have to face charges yourself. Yes, my lord, of course. It transpires that you were complicit in helping a criminal escape justice. The fact remains whether or not you are doing so in the line of duty. Crime is a serious one, Inspector, and inexcusable. Now to the defendant, Miss Sheila Lestrade.
Yeah?
It is time for the final adjudication. Is the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Yes, sir. Garrett up squadron standing by, sir. This is really it now. The last push, the final call. The finishing whistle, my men are ready to deliver their verdicts.
Thank you, Mr. Foreman. Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now declare your final decisions to the court.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Let's go. My boy Willin. That's the stuff. I'm off the hook.
Finally, Runo, you managed to do it.
Finally is the word. I really wasn't sure if we'd come out on top for a while there. That trial was long as fuck.
Susie was right. You're the best lawyer in the world.
Mr. Strahd, I'm not finished with you yet.
Eh? What are you looking at me like that for?
Before you start enjoying your freedom, there are certain other crimes to consider.
Eh?
2 months ago, in my courtroom, no less, you gave false testimony, did you not? In relation to the trial today, not only did you unlawfully enter Winterbank's pawnbrokery, you also attempted to abscond with Mr. McGilden's property, it seems.
Eh? Yeah, I never done nothing of the sort.
Of course not. It's not like you were gleefully wearing McGilden's coat in your cell yesterday or anything.
Oh, just when I was getting excited about throwing a party for Ginny this evening.
I don't know why I did a somewhat normal voice for Ginny there. Or Iris. Turning our attention to the defense. Determining that, when played together, the music box contained a message in Morse code was, well, it was certainly a most unexpected revelation, Consul. Quite so, my lord. The prosecution was caught entirely off guard. In fact, I think we should applaud my learned friend's courage here today. I propose a toast to demanding that government secrets be disseminated before the entire courtroom. Yeah, probably not the best idea. Very sorry about that. It was the only way I could get Inspector Gregson to admit to what he'd done, so... If I may say something at that point. Who's that? Isn't that... It's, about the sounds produced by the music box before. I do wonder... That was really Morse code at all. Right, because Morse code is the same note with different... The two tones are duration based. But when you played the music box, it's two different notes. And the duration seem to be the same. So... Yeah, that is something I noticed. I just didn't really bring it up because I don't know. Maybe they like. Maybe that didn't matter. Maybe that ended up being Morse code anyway. I don't know. What are you saying, madam?
Oh, well, it's just that I'm really rather fanatical when it comes to Morse code, you see. So much that so the whole world seems to be covered in dots and dashes to me, in fact.
Goodness, madam. An unhealthy level of obsession, one feels.
I must say that, in my opinion, the sounds produced by those two discs were nothing more than that. A meaningless series of two different tones.
What?
Could that really be? Was it Morse code after all? A different cipher, maybe?
Dude, where did all my slaps go? My slams turned into slaps. Friends would like to listen to the music box again.
Are you off your nut? How many times do I have to tell you? Those just contain ministerial secrets, sunshine.
This courtroom is not an appropriate forum to discuss the nature of the government communications. We know McGilden's conspired to trade national secrets with our enemies, secrets acquired from Mr. Graydon. Now that the man has admitted to his crimes, we have no need to pursue the matter further. Ugh, but it's really going to bother me. That is an interesting mystery. They gotta tie that up somehow, right? Maybe in the next game?
Yeah, me lord?
That which you have seen today here in this courtroom has been extremely disturbing. Falsified evidence, intimidation, perjury, a grim catalogue of depravity. An appalling experience to befall any child.
Come on. It ain't nothing I don't see most days in the back slums.
I beg your pardon?
You're weak, you pay for it. That's just how life goes.
Gina.
But look, I reckon I've worked something out someday. Today, the world ain't fair, but if you want to change,
Gotta start at home. You gotta change how you are yourself.
Well, that's a very laudable lesson, I would say. I eagerly look forward to the born-again Miss Lestrade never gracing my courtroom with her presence again.
It's like when they say to patients never to come into the hospital again. Now, with regard to the murder of Pop Winterbank, proprietor of a pawnbrokery business on Baker Street, I hereby declare that the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, is not guilty. Yeah! Fireworks. I still don't know how this place isn't burned down. Oh yeah, shoot another one. Let's go. Cute. We did it, finally. Oh, we're just chilling here? Just you and me? A little one-on-one? A little date? So what do you want to talk about, buddy? On a personal note, I must say you surprised me with my Far Eastern friend. Oh. Despite being a Nipponese, okay, man, you saw through the pretense of the malice that festered within that Englishman, and at the same time saw through the grime to the surprising heart of your English client. You have a curious talent for judging character, especially considering our very different cultures. I don't think there's anything curious about it. Whether we're from the Empire of Great Britain or the Empire of Japan, we're all human beings. We're not so very different on the inside. You know, I took this case for one very simple reason. To lock swords with you once again here in the courtroom. Oh, he's so into me. You did? When I encountered you for the first time 2 months ago, it reminded me of toasting friendship and trust with the Nipponese. Only to find my trust betrayed. Through you, I hope to look into the eyes of the man I once knew and try to understand. Oh, what kind of history do you have? You have a Japanese ex? Do tell. You mentioned something earlier today about total betrayal at the hands of the Japanese.
I'll never forgive the Japanese.
So says Joseph Joestar. What happened exactly? Well, you may ask, and one day, when the time comes, you will learn the answer, whether you like it or not. Find out next time, in the next game. Alright, then I'll wait for that day if I must. Coming to be known as the Reaper of the Bailey, in my retirement from service 5 years ago, it gives me cause to wonder if our meeting has some deeper purpose. So, farewell, my learned Nipponese fellow, until we meet again. It's not over between us. We're rivals for life, you and I. It's done. It's over at last. But where's Iris disappeared to? Hey, Jenny. Ah, congratulations, Gina. I knew it all along. I knew that you were innocent. Well, you did what you said, Mr. Naruto. You believed in me, right up to the end. You're as old as your name. What's odd about it? I told you I had faith in you, didn't I? No one has ever asked before, see? Kept a promise, I mean, properly. It's awful. I figured something out today. All my life, growing up in the slums, I've never trusted no one. That's just because I've been scared of being stabbed in the back. I mean, the more you trust someone, the more it hurts when they let you down. Yes, I think I can understand that. After all, I had a taste of it in that trial 2 months ago. Chose to trust someone, and paid for it. Betrayal left a big scar. You know though, Gina, I worked something out quite recently, too. Trusting in someone else is really an exercise in learning to trust yourself. When your gut tells you it's the right thing to do, your trust is rewarded. There's no better feeling in the world. I think I have you to thank for reminding me of that valuable lesson. Oh, well, if you say so. Don't make a fat lot of sense to me, though. Trying to say that putting my faith in you, Gina, it's been a real pleasure. Crying out loud, pack it in. I suppose I sort of feel the same way. I mean, sometimes trusting someone else is, you know, alright. Thanks. This is the way I see it, Ryunosuke. Kazuma. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. After this experience, I'm starting to feel like I understand what you mean. Kazuma. Am I living up to your expectations? Am I turning out to be the lawyer you believed I could be? Pardon the interruption? Oh, come on, you interrupted my... Oh. You motherfucker, you bastard. You interrupted my Kazuma flashback. What the deuce does a man have to do to be noticed around here, my dear fellow? That voice. It's too late for that voice now, Mr. Naruhodo. But standing here patiently in the corner of the room for an eternity. Ah, yes, it was me all along, I would have said when finally you noticed me. But you people, your incessant babbling. Look, it's the game's fault. They didn't give me an inspect screen, okay? Haha, yes, it was me all along, you see? Yeah, this goofball. Honestly, I assume you've been taking it back to the hospital, to be honest. Indeed I was, but I managed to escape again. Oh. I happen to be aware of one or two foibles of the doctor who was attending to me. Merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily issued me with a leave of absence. I'm very above board. But enough of my adventures. That was a fine victory, Mr. Naruhodo. Your tireless efforts truly justly rewarded, I feel. Congratulations, Aonoro. As a close friend, I tip my hat at you. Oh, thank you. Some great detective you are. Great at being cold as ice, maybe. Have I irked you in some way, Mr. Lestrade? Or you been having a snooze in you and I saw bed? Some of us have been fighting for our lives. Ah, well, that bullet did cause me to lose a substantial amount of blood, it's true. So I have indeed been feeling somewhat cold. Not perhaps as cold as ice, but, well, I have a feel. Could you take your hands off my neck, please, Mr. Sholmes? Oh my god. In some way, I suppose. Congratulations are in order for you too, Mr. Lestrade. Dude, I can all get the image of him nearly choking me out of my mind. This game is not okay. What's that supposed to mean? Why are you so half-hearted? Well, naturally, it isn't my intention to alarm you, but an acquittal in a trial without particular prosecutor is perhaps a little precarious. Well done, Mr. Sholmes. Not alarming in the slightest. Oh, the Reaper, you mean? Because anyone who's found not guilty in a trial he wants is working on winds up dead anyway. Is that it? The very point I was trying to make. Exemplified by the fate of Mr. McGilded, in fact. Ah, but of course, I paid no attention to such a rational drivel myself. Well, we already know who did the murder of McGilded, so... whatever, man. Yeah, well, it don't bother me. Oh, really? course not. The way I see it, the Reaper's a bit like him upstairs. Him upstairs? You mean like God? He is God. Plot twist. Yeah, him upstairs knows what's what, right? He knows what people are like on the inside. He won't have the wrong end of the stick. There's some kills like that bog trotter. What are rotten to the core. At the end of the day, him upstairs makes sure they get what they deserve. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. Divine justice is one thing, though. The Reaper taking matters into his own hands and claiming lives is another. Well, I ain't like the McGildas of this world, so I ain't scared. I got principles, see? Treating you, which is to be admired, Mr. Strahd. Oi, just give it a rest, alright? As I was saying, congratulations are in order. The news of your acquittal was very welcome news to me indeed. Let me express my heartfelt congratulations. Gina. First name. Well,
There you are, Hurley. How long have you been here?
I knew it was you.
Honestly, I went to the main entrance especially to meet you there.
Iris, my dear, I do apologize. But wait until I tell you what happened. This pair made utter fools of themselves.
What happened?
As you know, I have a penchant for disguise. I was hiding in this room dressed as a bailiff. But these dolts didn't notice my presence at all. They really had no idea. Can you imagine, Iris? Would you credit it?
I'm not sure, really.
I beg your pardon?
Sorry, Hurley, but you just don't have the wavy presence you seem to think you have. In fact, you really ought to be careful about that. It's gonna land you in trouble one day.
I'll be careful. Ouch. Dude, you got shot down.
Anyway, it's such a shame. I was so hoping to throw a party for Ginny tonight, but you won't be able to come, will you?
Don't look, I'm gonna be nowhere for a while. Yeah, the judge's patter. I got stuff to make amends for, apparently. All them offences. What was it again? Breaking and entering, taking the bulk trotter stuff, what was in the lug, blah blah blah. Yes, I think you'll find that basically. Being a pickpocket is the main offense. But diving ain't an offense, it's your job, innit? I don't think so. Still, it has to be caught me thinking all this. Maybe I should start looking for another line of work. I mean, you didn't start off as a lawyer, did you, Odo? Well, no, but I was never a pickpocket. Anyway, I reckon I could make a change. Gina added to the main crew of our agency? I want that. I'm gonna do something for all of them like me from the slums, something that makes a difference for him.
That's a wonderful idea, Ginny. I'm sure you can do it. What is it?
Oh, she's crying. Nothing. Gina Lestrade? Oh, prison carriage. Oh, back to the slammer, eh? Right. Well, it looks like I'm off then. Yes, goodbye, Gina. Good luck. Odo? Yes? Are you gonna ask me to defend you again? Oh, shit. Yeah, loading that takes like a million years. Ah! What was that for? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say, so... Was that your form of thank you? Perhaps that situation calls for praise hitherto and missing from your vocabulary, Miss Lestrade. Eh? On occasions such as this, I would recommend a simple thank you. Oh. Dude, she's so adorable.
Oh, yes, it's good advice, Ginny.
Right, I see. Well... Oh. Thanks, Odo. Oh, Oh, my heart. Thank you for everything, what you done, for believing in me. She's too adorable. She is my second daughter. Not at all. In fact, that should be my line. Thank you, Gina. Protect the smile at all costs. Well, there she goes. I wonder if I'll ever see her again. Well, quite the indomitable pick purse.
I must nearly forgot. I bought a paper outside. It's a special edition. This trial is all over the front page. Pickpocket's innocence proven. Isn't that wonderful?
You should have shown it to Gina, Iris. She would have been thrilled.
Oh no, how silly of me. Ah, but anyway, would you like the good news or the bad news?
There's bad news? Okay. As usual, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Absolutely not. I have no intention of listening to anything but good news.
There you have it. How people answer that question always says a lot of them, doesn't it?
Let's not go there.
Alright then, maybe let's start with the good news this time. The rain has finally stopped. It was record level of rainfall, apparently.
That is good news indeed. We can journey back in greater comfort. Alright then, what's the bad news?
The huge storms left the seas very choppy. The channel in particular is awful, so sailings out of the Dover have been delayed by a day or more.
Does that mean Susato is still here?
I still make it in time to say wave Susie off.
Oh shit. But there won't be a train, surely. Couldn't be that lucky. Who do you think I am, Mr. Naruhodo? Mr. Sholmes? I rushed to Victoria Station earlier and made arrangements with Special Express. If we hurry now, we shall be there in time for dinner. And I know of a fine restaurant that serves the most delicious baked sole. I don't... The great detective does it again. My goat. Indeed he does. I happen to be aware of a number of the rail transport director's foibles. What? I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man. He happily made... laid on the locomotive. Elementary. Just an idea, but it might be wise to stop manipulating people that way. Dude, what does he know? I'm sure he knows some government secrets too. To London, Victoria. Game keeps going. Look at this place, it's pretty. Port of Dover. Quayside. What? Is Quayside like a description, or is that just the name of the area?
Susie Phil must be about to leave now.
Mrs. Sato, where are you? Oh, there you are, under the very well lit area of that dock.
Hold it!
Hold it. Mrs. Sato, wait, what are you doing? Is it just me, or did she look very tall? Considering how far she was. Mr. Naruhodo, what are you doing here? Came as soon as we could after the trial. I mean, we heard that sailings were being delayed due to the bad weather, you see. Oh, I see. Then tell me, how did Gina's trial go? It went well. She was acquitted. That's wonderful. Really wonderful news. The book you were about to throw into the sea. It was your Encyclopedia of British Law, wasn't it? Oh dear, I was hoping you hadn't seen that. British law goes in the garbage. I'm not worthy of practicing law in any ways now, so I was saying my final farewell. You were saying goodbye to law? You? Susato-san? Would I be correct in assuming it's because of a peephole, Miss Misato? I deliberately altered the scene of a crime, and then I tried to hide the fact. What I did is utterly unforgivable. Come on.
That reminds me. How did you even come to have this, Susie?
On the evening of the incident, Mr. Sholmes had invited Gina to dinner, if you remember.
Oh, yes, we had a wonderful time.
Well, Gina gave us a little introductory lesson, didn't she? To the art of pickpocketing, I mean. Oh, shit. Even that comes into play here. That's funny. Please don't do that again, Iris. That band's very important to me.
Well, if it's so important, you should pay more attention to it. You didn't even notice for ages.
On a whim, I thought it would be fun to see if I could take the cat flapper mat, so I put it up my sleeve.
Really?
And I rather forgot about it until I found myself in Mr. Winterbank's shop with it later that night.
I see.
And then... Mr. Sholmes. After Mr. Naruhodo had left the shop, I started to think that door started to play on my mind.
Storm door, you mean?
Yes, if Gina was anywhere in the shop, I realized it could only be behind that door. At that moment, the little device I had up my sleeve sprang to mind. I was so worried about Gina, I simply had to know.
So you used the cat flapper mat to make the people on the door.
It's captured in a photographic print of the shop. And one of Helly's red-handed recorders.
Indeed, it was of the first importance at that point. Precisely when the people was made, that information would prove to be Mr. Naruhodo's greatest weapon, though naturally, without proof, it would have amounted to nothing. When I looked at the hole in the door, the sight that met my eyes made my blood run cold. Thoughts started to run through my mind. I remember that trial 2 months earlier. Trial Madkins McGill did. About how he had manipulated the evidence and arranged false testimony to secure his freedom. It made the British justice system feel very dark and sinister to me. And then a terrible thought occurred to me. What if some wicked criminal was planning to do the same thing now? Because from his appearance at the crime scene, it looked exactly as though Gina had shot Mr. Winterbank. Even though I was sure she would never have done such a thing.
You were worried that the true culprit would try to frame her for the crime.
That's right. Then I realized it would be very difficult for anyone to give false testimony in this case.
What do you mean?
Well, the crime appeared to have happened behind the door of a locked room. For someone to claim falsely to have witnessed it, there would have been a way to see beyond the door.
For which, people would be the very thing.
Uh-huh. Criminal would know that, so it wouldn't make any difference. The possibility of a rather ingenious trap was there, was it not? A trap? Is that why she did it?
So, is that why you kept it a secret, Susie? You never mentioned that you made the people to anyone, not even the police.
I know, and I knew it at the time. What I was doing was wrong, criminal offense even. That's why I decided to confide in Mr. Sholmes. And Mr. Naruhodo was completely backed into a corner with no other possible means of escape. The truth about the people could save him. That was my plan.
She really does think of everything.
But then, why didn't you just tell me everything before the trial began?
My dear fellow, you're not thinking straight. If she had done that, it would have rendered you complicit in the whole escapade.
Ah.
You could have been disbarred if you had been so knowingly tampered with the crime scene. So Mr. Sato decided to shoulder the burden of responsibility alone, for your sake and Mr. Stratt's.
Mrs. Sato, you really are the best assistant. The truth is, when it happened, I did it because I'd lost a little of my faith in the law.
Oh.
I was worried that the right person would be convicted of the crime. But the moment I allowed myself to think that, is the moment I lost my right to call myself a judicial assistant.
What you did isn't comparable to what he did. Graydon was the one who lied in the witness stand, using that people as a way to implicate Gina. Besides, if the people inconsistency hadn't existed, I'm not at all sure that she would have been acquitted in the end. Mrs. Sato,
What you did saved Gina's life. Well, with your kind words, Mr. Naruhodo, you've saved me too from my regrets. Oh. Must protect that smile too.
Well, we must be all be thankful that Mrs. Strahd's freedom has been assured.
Yes, exactly. Although some of the loose ends in that trial will continue to play on my mind, I'm sure. But the revelation that the music box disc contained some secret messages, Mr. Naruhodo. What a triumph to work that out. Full of admiration. Well, actually, that argument wasn't quite as compelling as I thought it was. Oh, it wasn't? There was a communications officer among the jury members, you see, a telegraph operator. She said that the majority of the sounds on the disc were just meaningless tones. As one would expect. After all, we are talking about secret government communications. No doubt they were written in cipher to avoid being readily understood should they have been intercepted. Cipher, I see. So then we could never have hoped to understand the message anyway. Nonsense, my dear fellow. I'm quite a zero-pipe problem. Oh, it's quite a zero-pipe problem, I assure you. You recorded it somehow? Asogi? What? Cosmo Asogi?
Well, that can be a real word, can it? How funny.
Wait, Iris, what did you just say? Oh, I just said Asogi. Does that word mean something to you? Means something? Asogi was the name of my best friend. What? But how? How could you know that name, Iris?
I wrote it down during the trial before, when the message was playing on the music box.
She transcribed it on the fly? She really is a genius. What the fuck kind of code was that?
I thought the message probably would be written out and play in Morse code, so I tried various ways to interpret it.
You remember that? Your brain is way too big. You remember the code by hearing it.
That is, in English at least.
Oh,
Suddenly occurred to me, you see, there's more to one Morse code, not just the English variety. Various countries around the world have altered and added Morse code to use in their own languages.
I don't believe it. Are you saying Japanese Morse code?
I've only actually seen a chart of Japanese Morse code once before, but I think it's based on the Iroha pentagram, isn't it?
And you mean to say that in Japanese Morse code the message says Asogi?
Yes, I think so. Sorry, but I don't remember all the Japanese Morse code.
Iris, would you let me see that? Mrs. Sato, do you know it? Do you know Japanese Morse code? Yes, I spent some time studying it. Because I'm quite sure Morse code will become ever more important for international communications. Then might I recommend, my dear madam, that you focus your efforts on the English version. Be that as it may. Sholmes is like, by the way, British supremacy. What do we have here? But what could this possibly mean? Whatever is that? Oh no. Color drained from Sato-san's face. There's no doubt that this message is written in Japanese Morse code. So the British Empire has been using Japanese for its secret communications? I don't understand the reason why, but a bunch of weebs over here, I guess. The message appears to be a list of 4 people's names. 4 names? First, Kei Asogi Cosma. Cosma Asogi. Why? What was his name on the disc? Second is A Shin. A Shin. I don't recognize that name. The third, T Guregusen. Gregson. Gregson? Oh, it would seem Tobias Gregson is the third man on the list. What is this, a hit list? What's his name doing in the secret government communication as well? And the last name... Is it my name? It's just so strange, so unexpected.
Oh, what is it, Susie? Don't keep us in suspense.
It's my name, isn't it? The last name It's Jay Wilson. No. Jay Wilson.
What?
Her dad. And his dead boyfriend.
John H. Wilson? Do you mean Daddy?
The plot thickens even more, and we're at the end of the game. Oh my god. I don't want to play the next game right away, but this game is trying to get me to play it so bad. How to play 100 Line, guys. It only says Jay Wilson, so I'm afraid I can't be sure. Then, after the four names, it reads, if I translate from Japanese, that is all four. That's the end of the message, or rather, the end of what you noted down, Iris. All four. The Elite Four. We Pokemon now. Those discs contain Japanese Morse code, not to mention a strange list of some disturbingly familiar names. It would appear that this particular message is a communication of some kind between Great Britain and the Empire of Japan.
So Daddy could be in Japan then, where Susie and Runo came from.
Well, he's a little toast right now.
Oh, well... no, it's not very likely really, is it? I mean, there are thousands of people with the surname Wilson, and there must be lots of J's among them.
Yeah, let's go with that for now. Mr. John H. Wilson, visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. I can't tell Iris about that now. I just can't. How do we break the news, man? This is so strange. Somehow in solving the case of Mr. Windermeke's murder today, I feel like I've rolled back a boulder at the mouth of a very dark cave. I do wonder. Perhaps it's a dark cave we shouldn't go wandering inside. Honk. Oh dear, the ship is going to set sail soon. Yes, it seems so. I'll sail on that steamship first to the port of Dunkirk in France. Then we'll change onto a larger passenger vessel bound for Japan.
You really going then, Susie?
We wish you a safe passage, Mr. Sato. Hope to see you again. Thank you so much. I wish all of you the very best. Mrs. Sato, I hope to have you always at my side to guide me and support me. Mr. Naruhodo, please, come back soon. As far as I'm concerned, you really are the very best judicial assistant in the world. Oh. I want to hug her. Quite sure. I'll be back before you know it.
Really, Susie?
Don't forget, Iris, I made you a promise I've yet to fulfill. Promise? But your manuscript.
Ah,
Oh yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles.
I'll be waiting for you then, Susie. Promise is a promise.
Definitely, Iris. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? Do you remember the first time we met? Yes, of course. On the SS Buria when I was dragged out from that wardrobe, still half asleep. If I remember rightly, you threw me halfway across the cabin with this Sato takedown. You know very well what I'm talking about after that. It's strange, but being thrown together as we were in that case, I somehow felt straight away that you are the perfect person to continue Kazuma-san's great legacy. Oh, Kazuma-sama. Sorry for disrespecting him like that. Mrs. Sato. My instincts were right. I really want to believe. No, I'm sure that I'll be back soon. Farewell until then. Bye-bye. I'll miss you.
Somehow we seem to have come to the end of the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Or the first volume, at least.
Check out Volume 2. On Steam now.
Looking back now, it feels as though fate has led me on this journey.
Actually, it's in the same it's in the same game as this. It's a collection.
Fate led me to becoming a lawyer, to traveling halfway around the world, to meeting the great detective. I'm sure there'll be trials and tribulations ahead. Of course there will.
That's the name of the game.
But whatever happens, I know I'll be able to turn my fortunes around.
Bro, what are you doing? You brought your violin here?
After all, I have the greatest friends in the world on my side.
Yeah, friendship. What? That was sudden. Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, Mr. Sholmes? I have some rather awkward news. The railway company has decided to sue over the special express train, apparently. Huh?
Caused such a commotion on the line, all the other trains had to wait at stations.
Really? We would never have made it to Dover in time otherwise. Anyway, I explained everything, and how it was all your fault. What? Huh? I believe a formal complaint should be delivered to your office tomorrow. But not to worry, my dear fellow. According to Mr. Sato...
You love defending yourself in court.
Huh?
It's alright, I'm perfectly happy to testify. He really didn't look like the sort of man who'd do something so outrageous. See?
Oh, you do great. This is where I object. Mr. Sholmes. Yes? A word, if you don't mind. Why, certainly. Any word you like. Bellowed out, my dear fellow.
Oh yes, I love Bruno's words, and I know just the one he'll use here.
Then, I really must say...
Objection!
Dude, this game is a good fucking game. In the following weeks, hundreds of music boxes arrived at Baker Street from all over Europe. Something was afoot. Oh, it transpired that I ordered them all myself. Right, I forgot he did all that. The money I've earned consulting detective work pays a pittance by comparison.
I haven't slept a wink. This manuscript is due tomorrow now. When I'm this busy, Heather usually cooks me breakfast. Well, cooks is an overstatement for some dry toast and insipid coffee. I do miss Susie and her lovely Japanese breakfasts.
Music is good, character design is good, animations are so much better than the previous games. Gameplay is like really good, like having multiple witnesses on the stand. Oh, this guy, Ouchie. These goobers.
Well, I don't know, sir. Knows his father is an innocent man. Are you calling my son a liar?
Oh, judge number 1. I can't forget you. Dude, this guy has aura. Hosonaga. I hope they're probably going to touch on your, like, illness or something. In the next game, right?
I've done nothing wrong. All I did was give Wagai's offspring refuge in my pocket. The man brings some kittens on board and suddenly he's a hardened criminal. It's not fair.
I loved all the jury mechanics. It just makes sense to have a jury after all. All these games of not having one and the judge being the jury in the previous games. I think this guy is gonna be the main villain, right? 2 minutes and 37 seconds to my next appointment. This guy, like, he really is just Damon Gant, right? Exact same vibe. Latest Rounds magazine is out. I'm in it again. Whenever I say that one line she wrote now, I get a standing ovation. Say the thing. Not bad, I suppose. For an amateur. Glug, glug, glug. Her ladyship puts me to shame. He's on the list. The list of 4. What did you do, Gregson? Who do you know? Was it the old girl at a daily basis course? Oh, she's in jail. The Dickie Peg? The what now? The man of his house is an old maid. Hell yeah, dude. Put on that maid outfit. Oh, these guys.
Oh, thanks to the Reaper. It's nothing I enjoy more these days than hunting out small change in the gutter. I'm at a better Bobby now, looking out for Londoners. They drop pennies, my lovely wife.
Ugh. Ew, yuck. Oh, Gina. Looks like I'm gonna be doing time for a bit now. But ours comes every day for that matter, so it ain't too boring. Oh, that's nice. She's always going on about all them cases what Sholmes is looking into. Criminal investigations are kind of interesting when you get into them. Oh, is this teasing her future as a investigator, a detective even? Oh, this guy. He's not put to death yet? Yes, I've renounced my upbringing and chosen life of sophisticated crime. But regrets? Please.
Give it over, bruv. That ain't the Ash we used to know. We got time in here to plan to come back from Milverton Skulkin's milk run, right?
3 musky Watsits.
Milking the neighborhood for all it's worth.
Oh, they got the poses down. We gotta do it in sync, though. I'm surprised he's still alive, to be honest. Unless they don't do capital punishment for every murder here at this time. I don't know how severe punishments were back then. Painful goodbyes, wonderful encounters. Come to realize that's what life is all about. Naruto-san, I promise your system will return to you one day. But for now, I will leave you with many memories and a heartfelt wish that life will treat you well. Aww. That picture is so cute. Oh my god. How'd they get it in such high resolution? In such vivid color? Oh, look at this credit. What? Dude, they really pull out all the stops with this game. Cosmo. Okay, well, I don't want to, like, go through the entire thing, to be honest. Do I have to watch the whole thing? Do I want to skip this? Well, it's good to see Cosmo again walking. Well, this is funny. Oh, it's you. Swan Lady. I was sure she was going to be back for something later in the game. Maybe in the next game. Alright, I will not watch all these. This is going to be a long credit. Finale. We did it, guys. Dude, this image goes hard. What the fuck? Yo. Just two dudes staring at the sunset dramatically with wind and cherry blossoms in the background. Nice. All right, well, the game's over. Yes, we have another adventure, but that'll be for another time because, well, next time we're gonna start a new arc, a new game, a new season of DHA. 100 line, folks. Word on the street that the game is pretty fucking good. I have my hopes up. And the demo is good. So we'll continue from where we left off there. Look forward to it. I also heard that the game is really fucking long. It's gonna take a long time to get all the endings. I swear, if I try to get all, like, what was it, like 100 or so endings of that game? That's gonna take my entire life to stream. But hey, you know what? Maybe that's something I want to commit to. We'll see. But don't worry. We'll finish Ace Attorney Chronicles one day. Alright, well, it's getting late, so I suppose I'll just call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed tonight's stream as well as all the other streams of Ace Attorney. And I hope you look forward to what's next. Till then, have a great rest of your night. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe and be well.